Have you ever needed to get things done through others, but didn't have any actual authority over them? This is the challenge that countless professionals face every day, from project managers to team members working cross-functionally. But here's the thing. Not having formal authority might actually be your greatest advantage. Today, I'm going to show you why, and exactly how to make it work for you. Let's start with something counterintuitive. Formal authority often gets in the way of real influence. Think about it. When someone pulls rank or says, "Do this because I'm the boss," what's your natural reaction? Most people instinctively resist or just comply without real commitment. But when someone without authority manages to get you on board with their idea, it's usually because they've convinced you of its merit. They've earned your trust and support naturally. This is what I call the authority paradox. Sometimes, not having formal power forces us to use much more effective methods of influence. When people feel they're part of creating the solution, they become invested in its success. Before we dive into specific tactics, let's understand the 4 fundamental pillars that make informal leadership work. First is credibility through competence. People naturally follow those who demonstrate expertise and deliver results consistently. It's not about knowing everything, but about being really good at what you do and being reliable. The second pillar is emotional intelligence. This is your ability to read the room, understand others' motivations, and adapt your approach accordingly. It's often more important than technical skills when it comes to influence. Third, we have network building. Your influence grows exponentially when you create strong relationships across different teams and levels. Think of it as creating a web of allies who support your initiatives. And finally, value creation. This means consistently finding ways to make others' lives easier or better. When people see you as someone who helps them succeed, they're naturally more inclined to support your initiatives. Trust isn't given, it's earned through consistent actions over time. Let me show you the 4 key areas where your actions can build unshakable trust. The foundation of trust is consistency. It's about being there not just during the good times, but especially when things get challenging. When team members are struggling with difficult projects, be the first to offer support. This shows you're not just a fair-weather colleague. Every promise you make, no matter how small, is a chance to build trust. When you say you'll do something, make it happen. No excuses. Don't wait for problems to arise. Regular check-ins and updates show you're engaged and reliable. Creating psychological safety is crucial for building trust. It's about making people feel secure enough to be themselves and take risks. When someone isn't in the room and their work comes up for discussion, be their advocate. This builds trust not just with them, but with everyone who witnesses it. When things go wrong, be the first to say, "I made a mistake," or "I could have handled that better." This vulnerability is contagious and builds trust. Never take credit for others' work. Instead, go out of your way to highlight others' contributions, especially in front of leadership. The principle of giving value first is like making deposits in a trust bank account. Look for opportunities to help others succeed without expecting anything in return. This creates a natural desire to reciprocate. Don't hoard information or expertise. Share it freely. When you help others grow, they become invested in your success too. Pay attention to what others need before they have to ask. This kind of proactive support is incredibly powerful in building trust. Relationships are the currency of informal leadership. Build them intentionally and authentically. Practice active listening. Really try to understand others' perspectives before sharing your own. This shows respect and builds deeper connections. Keep track of what matters to people, their goals, challenges, and even personal milestones. This shows you care about them as individuals. Be genuinely happy for others' success. Share in their joy and help amplify their achievements. This creates a positive environment where everyone wants to contribute. Let's break down why informal leadership can actually be more powerful than traditional authority in today's workplace. The key difference lies in how these 2 styles achieve results. While traditional leadership relies on hierarchical power, informal leadership thrives on influence and mutual benefit. Traditional leaders often fall back on their title or position to get things done. While this might work in the short term, it's like using a hammer when you sometimes need a paintbrush. Informal leaders invest in relationships and build genuine connections. Think of it as having a strong network of supporters who want to help you succeed. They typically use direct orders and expect them to be followed, which can feel rigid and demotivating in modern workplaces. Instead of giving orders, they facilitate discussions and build consensus. It's like being a skilled DJ who reads the room and gets everyone moving together. People comply because they have to, not because they want to. This often leads to minimal effort and lack of innovation. People commit because they believe in the vision and feel ownership. They're not just following orders, they're pursuing shared goals. Performance reviews and structured meetings are the primary feedback channels, missing many opportunities for real-time improvement. Communication flows naturally and frequently, allowing for quick adjustments and continued improvement. When people feel forced rather than inspired, they often resist quietly through reduced effort or passive disagreement. When people feel they're part of the process, they naturally support the outcome. It's like the difference between being a passenger and a co-pilot. Understanding these psychological principles of influence can transform how you lead without authority. Let me break down each one with practical examples. Reciprocity is hardwired into human nature. When you help someone without expecting anything in return, they feel naturally compelled to help you back. For example, if you regularly offer to help a colleague with their technical challenges, they're more likely to support your initiatives when you need their backing. It's like planting seeds that grow into a garden of mutual support. People are more likely to follow what others are doing than what they're told to do. Instead of telling people your idea is great, show them how others have already adopted it successfully. If you're implementing a new process, start with a small group who can demonstrate its benefits to others. Success stories spread faster than directives. Here's a powerful secret. When people make small commitments, they're more likely to agree to larger ones later. Start by asking for tiny, easy-to-grant requests. Maybe it's just asking for their opinion on a small aspect of your project. Once they've invested even a little time or effort, they become more committed to its overall success. When you don't have authority, your time and attention become valuable resources. Don't be always available for everything. Instead, make your involvement meaningful and impactful. When people know your time is limited but valuable, they're more likely to engage fully when you do collaborate. People naturally want to help those they like and trust. But here's the key. Authenticity is everything. Don't try to manipulate. Instead, find genuine common ground. Share your challenges, celebrate their successes, and show real interest in their perspectives. When people feel you're genuinely on their side, they become natural allies. The secret sauce of informal leadership is creating situations where everyone wins. Let me show you exactly how to do this. First, you need to become a detective of sorts, understanding what drives each person on your team. Maybe Sarah wants more visibility with senior management, while Mike is passionate about innovative technology. Some people care about career growth, others about work-life balance. These aren't just nice-to-know details. They're your keys to creating compelling opportunities. Here's where many people go wrong. They focus only on individual wants. But true win-win scenarios need to align with broader goals too. Think of it like a three-way intersection. Your initiative needs to benefit the individual, serve the team's needs, and support company objectives. When you hit this sweet spot, resistance melts away. Now here's a game-changing approach. Instead of presenting your ideas as favors you need, frame them as opportunities for others to shine. For example, don't say, "I need help with this project." Instead, try, "This project could give us a chance to showcase your expertise in data analytics to the executive team." This might sound counterintuitive, but one of the most powerful things you can do is make others look good. When your initiatives help team members get recognition, promotions, or achieve their goals, they become your strongest advocates. It's like building an army of supporters who will champion your ideas because doing so benefits them too. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this fundamental truth about informal leadership. Your influence grows when you help others achieve their goals while achieving yours. This is the golden rule that transforms you from someone who needs cooperation into someone others naturally want to follow. Let me break this down. We often think about influence as getting people to do what we want. But real lasting influence comes from flipping this around, finding ways to help others get what they want, in a way that also moves your objectives forward. It's not about manipulation, it's about genuine mutual benefit. Think of it like planting a garden. You can't force flowers to grow, but you can create the perfect conditions for growth. When you consistently help others succeed, they'll naturally want to help you succeed too. Now, let me share some hard-learned lessons about what not to do when leading without authority. These are the traps I've seen many people fall into. Here's a surprising truth. Being everyone's friend isn't the same as being an effective, informal leader. While relationships are important, trying to please everyone usually leads to compromised standards and lost respect. Instead, focus on being consistently fair and professional. Think of it like being a good sports referee, respected for fairness, not for being everyone's buddy. We've all been there. Asking for favors feels like an easy way to get things done. But if you're constantly withdrawing from the favor bank without making deposits, you'll quickly go bankrupt in terms of goodwill. Instead of asking for favors, focus on creating mutual opportunities. It's the difference between being a borrower and being a business partner. Without formal authority, it's tempting to avoid confrontation. But here's the thing, ducking difficult conversations actually undermines your influence. You need to learn to have constructive, challenging discussions while maintaining relationships. It's like being a good doctor. Sometimes you need to deliver tough news, but it's how you do it that matters. When people don't immediately support your initiatives, it's easy to take it personally. But remember, resistance usually isn't about you. It's about their own priorities, fears, or constraints. Treat pushback as valuable information rather than rejection. It's like being a detective gathering clues, not a victim taking offense. A common mistake is focusing solely on your immediate team. But real influence requires a network of allies across different departments and levels. Think of influence like electricity. It needs multiple connected points to flow effectively. Regularly invest time in building relationships outside your immediate circle. Let's wrap this up with a concrete action plan you can start implementing today. These are your next steps for building influence without authority. Don't try to influence everyone at once. Choose one team member whose goals align with yours and focus on helping them succeed. Maybe it's someone working on a visible project or facing a specific challenge. Make their success your first win. This creates a powerful success story and your first strong ally. Take 15 minutes right after this video to draw a simple map of your workplace relationships. Who are the connectors, the decision makers, and the influencers? Identify 3 key relationships you need to strengthen in the next month. Remember, influence flows through networks. Write down exactly how you can add value to others. What are your unique skills or insights? What access or information can you share? This becomes your informal leadership toolkit. Update it regularly as you grow and learn new skills. Put recurring meetings on your calendar with key team members, not to discuss tasks, but to understand their goals and challenges. Think of these as investment meetings in your influence portfolio. These regular touchpoints build the foundation for natural influence.